Lagos's Hot FM.
Hot 93.3 FM. It's 10 minutes past 12. Still the Lava Lounge with TK. And I did tell you we were expecting two guests today. So with me in the studio, we've got two friends. I'm going to talk about them in a bit from Zitra Micro Bank. Of course, first off, I have Femi Okunyelu. Femi is the Director of Business Development at Zitra, holds a BSc and an MBA from the University of Lagos. Femi has 15 years experience in fintech, business development, marketing, and strategic partnership. And Femi has previously held roles as country manager, Ferrotam NG, commercial advisor, Embassy of Finland in Nigeria, senior market analyst, business, Finland, business development lead, Skybank PLC. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you. We went to the same university, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Unilag. So, Greater Cockaites.
Greater.
And of course, I have got John Usang with me in the studio. Holds Bachelor of Arts from the prestigious University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He's a finance professional with over 7 years of experience in enterprise risk management, credit risk, internal control, and compliance. Before joining Zitra Investments, he was instrumental in formulating policies and procedures across several startups within the microfinance industry. He's the current head of Zitra Micro Business. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much.
I think we also have something in common. I'm from IB, from Ibadan.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, Ibadan.
I know, right? Welcome to Hot FM. Good to have you guys.
We're happy to be here as well. Yeah.
Okay. So, both of you are from Zitra Micro Bank, right?
Yes.
Tell us, I mean, for those who are probably hearing it for the first time, who already know about it, but want to know more about it, tell us more about Zitra Bank.
Okay, so I will start with Zitra as Zitra itself.
Yeah.
Just a brief overview of who we are and what we do.
Okay.
So Zitra is a one-stop financial institution that offers financial services to different categories of customers.
Okay.
So we do loans, we do savings, and for people interested in passive income as well, we do fixed deposits. So that's it. And the type of loans, we target salary earners. We do LPO finance, invoice discounting, lease finance. So if maybe you want to finance your next car, talk to us. We'll be there to finance it for you. But today we want to talk about, of course, the microbank.
Yeah.
So the microbank targets the very bottom of the pyramid.
Okay.
That's the market women, the butchers, the artisans, just to paint a scenario. So imagine in common context, an hairdresser that has just, is it freedom that they call it?
Yeah, I think it's freedom.
That kind of graduation.
Yeah.
Yes, and you need to buy the washing,
all the equipment,
basically, so we tend to people like that.
Interesting.
So, compared to, our processes are tailor-made. So we try to understand your business. We try to understand your cash flow. We try to understand even the repayment as well, so that, we don't put burden on our customers, So that's where the microbank comes in. And you can access between 50,000 to 2 million. It doesn't mean you cannot even get more. Depending on how your business grows, you can access more. And then your repayment as well is very important. I don't know if John has something to add.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Femi. So what I want to add to that is that we also, provide financial advisory. Although he has explained that in context.
Yeah.
So we try to, understand the business of the customers and, of course, guide them so that we don't, overburden them at a period of repayment and all of those things. So we provide advisory to the customers and then let them understand both, of course, the money that we are giving to them is for business, strictly business.
Yeah.
They must, buy their goods or buy their equipment, so to speak. And then, of course, they must also understand, tenor that, okay, they're paying the money with interest. They don't, choose the interest that is that would, choke them up.
Yeah.
So everything is tailored made, like Femi has explained, and then it is easy for both the customers and for Zitra Investment.
Okay, quite interesting. So I'm sure there are obviously different sides to how this can happen, right? And of course, micro lending and traditional lending. That's. But I want to know the difference. What's the difference with micro lending and traditional lending?
So the difference, of course, there is a middle ground, but the major difference is it's basically the way we even onboard the customers. So, like I mentioned initially, that our products are actually tailor-made, and it's directed to a particular segment, and it's not one size fits all kind of model
approach. Okay.
So basically, we have a joint liability group, similar to the old adjust system, where you have a group of market women able to access these loans, and then we also have the individual side of the business. So it's affordable, it's accessible, basically, and like you said, even the repayment is also very flexible. So unlike in traditional banks, that repayment is usually 1 month tenor, we go as low as 1 week. So you can even have daily repayments, you can have weekly repayments, and that's why I said it's kind of tailor-made, because we try to understand your business and your cash flow.
Yeah.
Because if we assume that everyone, like salary earners, your salary would come at the end of the month, but for the market woman in Oshodi, our sales, our revenue is daily, so we try to collect the monies, if you agree with daily or if it's weekly, but that's how it's structured. And then we have 2 sides to it also. So it's not fully digital. So we have the digital footprint, and then we have the offline side of it, that we onboard, but you would go deeper into the onboarding process and all of that. But just to summarize it, it's tailor-made, it's affordable, it's accessible, and then customers are able to even access their loans within 24 hours upon completion of documentation.
So that's also saying that it's flexible.
It's quite flexible, yes.
Okay, so you mentioned that the maximum, well, not maximum, but people can get from like 50,000 to like 2 million.
Yes.
How do you decide on how that is distributed?
Okay, so I'll just don't worry. I'll give you the opportunity to talk more about.
No, he will definitely say, yeah.
So but basically it's risk based. So like I said, we understand your business, we look at your revenue, and then like he said before that we also offer financial advisory.
Yeah.
So we sit down together, understand the kind of business you do, because what works for the woman selling amala is not the same thing that will work for
the hairdresser.
For my brother in Ladipo, selling spare parts.
Yeah.
So we need to understand that part of the business, and that would also determine how much you can access. So there's what we call the debt to income ratio, which we calculate based on what comes in, and most of the market women, they have their books, they have their ledgers that we also, because some don't even have real bank statements, and then you cannot go to a credit bureau to even spool their credit reports. So we sit down with them, look at their ledgers to see, what comes in, what goes out, what's your wage bill, different things. So that will determine how much you are able to get. And then we also look at your exposure to other financial institutions. We have other competitors that, some of the customers have taken money from.
Yeah.
Because in credit, you need to also look at the person's capacity. In as much as the person wants to pay back, the person needs to have that capacity to pay back as well. So that is why we go, the extra mile to look at your inflow to determine how much you can get, and at what point you can even access the fund. So
that's right. I mean, you also said he was going to shed more light on onboarding, right? So can you probably touch on what he has said, and then the onboarding process as
okay. So, of course, Femi has almost touched on, all the process. But what I want to add is that, fine, we use a lot of, our process is hybrid. We borrow from the traditional, and of course, we try to, employ technology to run our processes and all that. Of course, we see our customers face to face, our customers sees us, and then, we, like he mentioned, to know their capacity and all of those, we use technology to get to all those, the root of all that. And we have partnership with technological companies who help us to analyze statements, help us in KYC onboarding and so on and so forth. So that is basically what we do at Zitra Micro Bank. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
you're going to say something?
yes, I was. Your next question, please.
Okay, so I was going to say, for obviously people are listening and probably saying, okay, this is a good opportunity. How can I apply for this? So we've had the process. So for somebody who's interested in this, how do they apply? What's the application like?
Okay, so it's pretty easy, like we have been saying this morning. So the application is simple. So you come to us, whether you are registering as a group or as an individual customer.
Yeah.
You will come to us, and then, or rather, we'll come to you, because we are trying to to bridge that distance.
Yeah.
From the bank. We bring the bank to the customers. We through the CBN financial inclusion policy. So we'll come to you, to your market, or to wherever it's preferable to you. So fill your form, and then of course you provide us with your details. Your BVN is very, very important. Okay. Give us your BVN, of course, your passport photograph, and then of course your ID cards. So once you have all those things ready, we'll commence your process, and of course we'll use our technology to run the credit process to see whether you are eligible to take our loans or not. So once that is done, your loan will either be approved, or of course we'll send you a message that your loan is declined based on XYZ. Maybe you have a bad credit outside, or you do not have complete documentation and all that. So I think Femi should be able to.
That's right. Also, I wouldn't necessarily say application, but because you've talked about eligibility, right? And I think you also mentioned that you also have to see past history and how they've been, accountable, if, you can stand for them. But then are there like more requirements? Do you need to check bank statements? How many years in business? Like more requirements that's needed?
Yes. Well, it's like I said, it's tailor-made, and it depends on who we are talking to at that particular time. So for some businesses, some businesses are small, some are big. It all depends. Mm-hmm. And then for some of them, they don't even keep records. So if we have a pre-qualification criteria, the standard ones, which is what he has mentioned. You need to have your BVN. We do address verification, so we've also partnered with some companies to help us with some of those verifications and all. But but we check bank statements. If you have a bank statement, we check it. But if you don't have, most of them have sales book. I don't know what they have their books that we can also check and see their daily sales. And what we are checking is basically the revenue. You see how much comes in, and then how much you even spend in buying some of your cost, the cost of your business as well. So that's basically it.
Okay, so because you also mentioned, for instance, if there's someone who just finished Freedom in Co and needs a loan, so in that case they don't have any existing business. So how does that one work?
So the way that works is, we work with associations as well. So for instance, this Freedom conversation, so you could your boss could be your guarantor in that case, because there is no history. And then we don't want you to collect the money and go and marry a third wife.
Right.
So so we want to ensure that what you said you will use the money to do is what you will do. So we would have. It's more like a reference. So the owner of the business is kind of referencing and guaranteeing that you will take the money and then you will pay as that went due. So
Okay. And just to add,
go ahead, John.
They are not those in that scenario. They are not totally new to the market. The prospect, so to speak, has learned the trade or the market from the boss.
Yeah.
So and. The boss, of course, the period of freedom is they are not going empty-handed. So what they are actually asking Zitra Investment or Zitra Micro Bank to do is to support whatever capital that the boss or the organ or whatever has provided, has tabled down. So we are not supporting to build the economy of that person, and of course build the economy of the nation, and by so doing, Zitra Investment will also benefit from that process too.
Okay, sounds very easy. but maybe not easy
No,
until you want to, try to get this.
It's actually easy because you asked me a question initially.
Yeah.
Why are we different from the traditional bank?
Yeah.
This is one of the major, because we are accessible. Basically, like you said, we'll bring the bank to you. Because for us, it's of course we want to make money, but we also want to add value.
Yeah.
And that is where the value comes in. Access to credit. It's very, very important. And then you see people come for 50,000, 100,000. It might be small money to you, but it's
There's
big
a lot
money
to
to
some
them.
people.
And you need to make it accessible. You need to make the process as easy and seamless as possible, which is what we've done. You can also apply for something, and let's even just try it.
I think I should, because I honestly don't even have a business.
Yeah,
So I should consider. But then I want a restaurant. That's a lot. Would you help me with that?
We have an Amala woman that is our customer. It's the same thing. She was in a small shop and needed to expand the business, And then she came to us that, she wants to do this, she wants to do that, she needs to buy pot, she needs to buy whatever she needs to buy, ilubo, whatever she wants to buy, and then we're able to support the business. So if you're ready to run...
so what's the most I can get? What's the most loan I can get?
We need to look at your business. We need to sit down to analyze the business and advise on how much you would be able to pay back.
I should consider that. On a serious note, though. Okay, we have a caller. Let's see. Hopefully this person's called to ask a question on this. So let's see. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. This is I'm calling from AJ.
All right. Are you currently listening to the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
listening.
I'm guessing you have a question for Femi or John, right? Or a
Yes.
controversial?
I just want to chip in one
Oh.
or two things and ask them equally one or two things. I've been listening to them the way they are explaining how they run their own company of additional loan to people. Please, sir, and brother, you guys there. What are your minimum and what are your maximum? If somebody wants to take a loan, what are your minimum and what are your money? And what are the repayment date or what? How do you guys run the repayment? Is it monthly, yearly, or daily? Because there are a couple of people that do theirs and they repay it daily. Some monthly, some yearly. So how do you people do that? That was my first question. How do you got your money back from the customers which you give loan to? And the process of this loan you're talking about to get to the person, I have been listening to your requirements. Say you will look at the revenue and what the person generates in a day and the capacity of the person, what the person sells. And there is one important question again I want to ask. If eventually somebody collect money and at the end of the day, the money was mismanaged and you couldn't repay it as according to your instructions or according to your, how do you people get the money back from the person?
Okay.
So this is two questions, but I will still call back again to, at least if I answer this to your repayment loan, your repayment time, then and this one that I just asked now.
Right.
Because I have seen some couple of loan people that comes to the market. They do comes to the market, even where we sell market. They give loans before they give. At the end of the day, if somebody have a problem and could not be able to refund that money, as the way they drag that person, to what they do to that person, sometimes the disgrace is beyond a woman, bearing. Some self even attempt to commit suicide to kill themselves because they can't pay back that loan.
All
You know?
right. Thank you. So
So,
we're just
please.
going to wait for the answers.
Okay, so
Thank
Yeah.
you.
so the minimum amount, I think that was the first question. you
Yeah,
asked.
and maximum, yeah.
Minimum is 50,000. The maximum is 2 million. But like I said, it's not capped. We look at your business because it depends on what you are funding. It might be an LPO. It might be it depends. But it's 2 million, 5 million, 50,000,
2
2
million.
million.
Yeah.
For that. And then the second question was
What do we do to the recovery
Requirements.
process?
requirement.
Yeah.
So the requirement is, as we had said earlier, we would need your BVN. We would need if it's an established business, we'll look at your bank statement. If there's no bank statement, we look at your ledgers, we look at your books and things like that to determine even how much you would qualify for. And then repayment also, we can make it's flexible depending on your business. Which is why we said it is tailor-made. We have to understand your business. So for the repayments, we do weekly, we do monthly,
Today.
and the tenor is between 6 to 12 months. We can even do short tenured loans as well. We can do 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And then depending on the business as well, you can even extend. And then in terms of recovery, which is what he was very particular about, and which is why, like they say, prevention is better than cure. So before we even give you that loan, we've established a process, which is why we go deep into your business and then offer you financial advisory as well, so that we don't get to that point. But if for some reason we get to that point, we try to do soft collections first, try to understand and maybe, okay, do we need to restructure the loan? Do we need to extend the tenor? Do we need to modify the repayment terms and conditions and all of that, and it's a two-way thing. The customer too needs to cooperate, because what we've also seen is some customers, things happen and they don't let us know that, I went into this business and it went bad, so you need to also let us know, and then we now agree. Of course, we also got money at a price from people and we're accountable to our stakeholders, so we won't just look away, so we also work with lawyers. We work, after certain days we push also the loan to debt recovery agencies and all of that. But hopefully, I didn't get his name, but hopefully we won't get to that point where someone is committing suicide. It's
Amen.
not happen and it will never happen.
Yeah. And to add to what Femi said,
Okay.
I think the testimony from our customers so far is that our loans are easy to to repay, and why is that? I think it's everything boils down to what we have been saying since, and that we advise the customer. We look at the business, of course. We have said that our loans minimum start from 50,000 naira to as much as 2 million and even more. But then we don't just give you the money. That we will look at documents, what you have, and we'll advise you on what is suitable for your business and what you can repay. Because everybody in Nigeria, everybody who wants to take 10 million naira, 100 million naira, and all of that, even when they don't have a plan. So we'll be the one to put that plan in place for you. And at the end of the day, it's a 50-50, a win-win case. You win and we win. You get your money, you get your interest, you get a profit for your business, and you also pay us, our interest, which also sustains us as a bank.
Okay, we still have Femi and John from Zitra Micro Bank talking about micro lending. If you've got questions, the number to call is 0818-242-6591. Again, 0818-242-6591, or send a WhatsApp message to 0818-008-9933, 0818-008-9933. I feel like the last caller is the same person calling, but let's see. Hello?
It's me from
Okay, please keep it quick, please. Go ahead.
Yes, I was listening to, I got you. Let's assume that I want to take $1 million naira from your bank as a loan. So what do I need to bring, and how much interest are there for me to pay? Because believe me, we that is in the market, maybe if there is somewhere that I am using, but the interest there is maybe somehow high, because you have to, you don't stay one place to watch match, so that you move around to know the one that will favor you and the one that will not favor you. Because some of all these microfinance banks, a lot of them, they oppress people with the interest they put in the money that they're giving to you. Sometimes when you invest the money, then even at the end of the day, you will pay everything back. Then even go to the gain you make from it, you will still pay it back. You left with nothing. So let us assume that I want to collect ₦1 million from you. Then what are the interest? How much is the interest that is in ₦1 million? Then because so you have given me the repayment loan that is 3 months to 6 months and up to 12 months. So what I'm asking is the interest. How is it in ₦1 million? So then what are the requirements to get a ₦1 million? How many guarantors? What are the guarantors? Is it by collateral? Is it guarantor? So what are the things that I need to bring to get this money to invest in my business? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So like we said earlier, our interest rate is risk based anyway. So it's between 3 to 5%, but it depends on your business because we don't want to overburden the customer. So what we'll do is, I don't know if you dropped his number. So
well, we can get his number.
We can get the number.
Yeah.
So we understand his business, because like John said, sometimes you think you need 1 million, but what you really need is maybe 500,000. So we need to understand his business, his cash flow, and then create something that would work for him so that he's able to. Because sometimes even repayment, it might be that you can only afford 20,000 to pay per week, and then I'm giving you repayment of 60,000. That's default from beginning, So we'll just get his number or we'll get your number and then we'll just
reach out to him.
Take that conversation from there.
Okay, fair enough. But saying that could also be like lots of traffic or demand, for a lot of people to take a loan. The country's hard, so So do you? I'm sure you have a lot of people, reaching out to you, and more people are going to reach out to you after this. How do you pitch yourself at the point where you're like a priority, or let me not use that word? What's your advice, to people who are trying to, reach out to Zitra Micro Bank for loans?
Okay, so the advice is reach out first, right?
Okay.
Get in touch with us. We also have a way we categorize customers. So we have tier 1 customers, tier 2 customers, tier 3 customers.
Okay.
And we have different bands also, band A, band B. These are internal things that we do. So it's basically based on what we've asked for, your BVN, utility, bank statements, depending on the kind of business you do, we'll put you in different bands to understand what you would even, qualify for. So I can't just say that, that this is how it would be, but they can come. We have an internal risk process that we will go through, and then we can analyze and then advise on what they will get. But, our doors we are open to customers, and yeah.
Yeah. So I know Mr. John had mentioned that, you've had quite a number of testimonies. Can you give us an example, like one, maybe a customer who came to loan and, it was turned out to be like a memorable story?
Maybe you should talk about the Amala woman.
Okay. I think that was someone who just benefited from Michael and
I think Femi has already mentioned the Amala woman before. So let me use another example so that we won't repeat a lot of things.
I like Amala.
I see.
Yeah, so there is, in fact, 2 people, they sell drinks, and then, wholesale and retail, and then they met us. They have been banking with us for quite, for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So this season, we tried to do something unique for them. When it was close to their paying off their, previous loan, we met them that, we are entering a dry season.
Okay.
And once we get to the point of August, September, drinks naturally, the prices of the drinks goes up. So we told them, this is the advantage, what you benefit. If you give you money now, you can lock up, your drinks, and they pay off their, existing loan, and then got some money from us, and then straight to their companies, and then to their suppliers,
Yeah.
and then lock down those goods, because since during the rainy season it's a bit lower. So, but when you are able to lock it down, so you at dry season you don't have to buy at a high price. So it enables you to have something down that you could sell during the dry season when the prices are up, and then of course make some good money for yourself, and also repay your loan easily for Zitra Micro Bank. So that is just one of success stories, and I think Femi has shared the other one before.
The
So-
Amala. His favorite Amala.
So we should leave it at that.
No, because the woman's story was quite interesting. So our office is on the Amala joint, is very close to the
Yes.
office.
Okay.
And then, she just approached us that this outlet is small. Is there a way we can fund a business to get
Yeah.
bigger space? And that was just it. We fund. And, once in a while, of course, I go there, sit down, but not on credit anyway. So,
Yeah.
she has to pay back. She has to pay back my loan. So, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's also part of the advice you're talking
Yes,
about, how you
yes.
can advise them, to go about it. Because of time, I do realize that Zitra is celebrating 3 years in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So first of all, what are you guys doing? Second, what are the goals for like future growth of your company? That's your micro lending company.
Okay, so what we are doing, let's start with that. We're
Yeah.
having stakeholders forum on Wednesday. Probably will
Just for
let-
stakeholders. How
Yeah.
about impending customers like me?
Yes, definitely. You will be my customer anyway. That restaurant, we must open it.
Yeah, so
We must open it. And then for future plans, so one of the things we're also trying to do is, and like I said, our target market is, the very bottom. So recently we opened an office in Uyo, in
Okay,
our 5
nice.
state, because we want to get closer to these people. And now we have about 300 unions, and that's for the joint liability group. And our target for next year is to have about 1,005. So now we have an office in Oshodi. We are opening another office in Bega.
Yeah.
With Uyo, and the Uyo market is meant to serve Calabar. Uyo is close to Aba. It's close to Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So it's going to serve that area. So we are also launching our mobile app, and aggressively. I think our target for next year is 300,000 downloads.
Okay.
And then in terms of even loans, in terms of volume, we plan to do, I think this year we've done over 1 billion, in that space. So we intend to, times 2 what we've done this year. So yes, next year will be a very, 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 very interesting year. So we see that, the 3 years it's been a learning phase. Now we are ready to dig deeper into the micro lending space. And one thing, just to add, is that we're also going into nano lending. We were doing that initially, and then, we just had to stop it, to...
For those who don't know the meaning of that, do you want to share that a
So
little bit?
nano lending is just below micro lending.
Yes.
So micro lending, 50,000 and above. Nano lending, 50,000 and below. So the target market is for those that want to, buy airtime, or you want to pay for your DSTV or internet, and
Okay.
things like, and you just need quick
Yeah.
cash, and then, or maybe you're just somewhere and then you're just stuck and you need that quick money, So that's where nano lending, you can't really use it for real business, but it's just that, that quick cash,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
All right. And John, you want to add something to that?
Yes, what I want to add is that, next year we have big plans for, our customers. We are opening up a lot of things. So our customer can, benefit from so much from Zitra Investment. For Zitra Micro Bank next year, I keep using Zitra Investment. It's an umbrella. It's a group, actually. So now, Femi has mentioned that we have over 300 unions. That
Yeah.
is unions. So in terms of customer base now, currently we have more than 5,000 customers in Zitra Micro Bank alone. So we are trying to, to scale up. I said we open offices and all of those. So our customers have a lot to look up to from us for next year. We'll have, offices. We have offices around, Bega, around Ikotun, around Ikorodu. So customers or prospects should, look out for Zitra Investment or Zitra Micro Bank 2020 from this year, 2024 basically. So
Okay, so how can new customers reach out to you? Phone number, website, contact address?
So they can reach out through the website, www.zitrainvestments.com. So there is a form on the site, and they can also reach out to us through our social media and at Zitra Investments, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. So that's how the customers. So they can just go on the website. There's a contact us form, and so they can get to us through that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Femi Okuyalu and John Uzang, for this insightful knowledge that you just gave us. And I'm looking forward to coming
to doing business. But I didn't ask my question.
What's your question?
Your restaurant, what would you specialize in? What would you sell?
I don't think I want to specialize on one thing, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I want it to be like different menu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Are you advising that I do amala?
No.
Because I don't. Okay, thank you so much for being on the show. And of course, I would forward the number of the listener who reached out. All right, still the Lava Lounge with TK. In a few minutes, I will be back to wrap up the show. Don't forget, you can go and reach out to them at www.zitrainvestment.com or on social media networks, Zitra Investments, right? I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Lagos's Hot FM.